Dear students, today we will learn about the behavior of carbon monoxide, that is CO, as pi acceptor ligand. As you know, ligands are molecules which are capable of donating electron pairs to the metal atoms to form a coordinate bond. So while the formation of this coordinate bond, there is donation from the filled orbitals of CO to empty orbitals of metal. However, some ligands also possess vacant pi orbitals in addition to the filled sigma type orbitals. These vacant orbitals can accept electron density from filled metal orbitals if they are of comparable energy, resulting in formation of pi bond in addition to the sigma bond. Such ligands, which are capable of back acceptance from the metal, are called pi acceptor ligands. Carbon monoxide CO is one such pi acceptor ligand. CO is very common and important ligand in organometallic chemistry. There is an extensive class of coordination compounds in which CO acts as the ligand called metal carbonyls. Now, many observations about metal carbonyls support the strong pi acceptor character of CO. Like, CO is not a very good base, but it forms very strong bond to metal atoms in metal carbonyls, which can be attributed to the formation of pi bond in addition to the sigma bond, lending it extra strength. Also, the presence of zero or very low oxidation state of the metal in metal carbonyls can be related to its ability to form pi back bonding. In order to understand which of the filled and empty orbitals of CO are involved in bonding with metal, let us refer to the molecular orbital diagram of CO. As you can see from the diagram, the HOMO, that is the highest occupied molecular orbital in CO, is the 5 sigma orbital, which is localized mainly on carbon. And LUMO, that is the lowest unoccupied molecular orbital, is 2 pi orbital, which has anti-bonding character. Thus, the bonding in between metal and CO, the 5 sigma orbital is involved in sigma donation from CO to metal, while the 2 pi orbital is involved in pi donation from metal to CO. Let us try to understand the nature of bonding between metal and carbonyl. The bonding between metal and carbonyl has two components. First is the sigma bond, which is formed by donation of electron density from filled sigma type orbitals of CO to empty sigma type orbitals of metal. And the second component of bonding is the pi back bond, which is formed due to flow of electron density from filled orbitals of metal to empty pi star orbitals of CO. This pi bond is called back bond because in this the direction of flow of electron density is from metal to CO as compared to the sigma bond in which the flow is from CO to. The two components of bonding in metal CO bond, that is the sigma and pi bond, they show synergic effect, which means they mutually enhance each other. The increase in extent of one leads to an increase in extent of the other, which is called the synergic effect. Now, usually the sigma and pi bond in carbonyls are of comparable strength. The synergic nature of bonding in metal carbonyls has an effect on bond lengths and bond orders. As a result of pi back bonding, the MC bond length in metal carbonyls decreases while CO bond length increases, and the reverse is true for bond order, as bond order is inversely proportional to bond length. So we can measure either the change in MC bond length or CO bond length or the bond orders to know about the extent of pi back bonding. IR spectroscopy is an excellent tool to study pi back bonding in metal carbonyls. IR spectra are simpler to obtain and provide useful information as compared to other popular techniques like NMR spectroscopy. The vibrational frequency of CO can be used to know the extent of pi back bonding in metal carbonyls. The CO strength is strong and generally free from other absorptions in the region, which make it very popular for use in knowing the extent of pi back bonding. Now, with the increase in extent of pi back bonding between metal CO bond, the vibrational stretching frequency of CO decreases. Thus, the extent of lowering of CO stretching frequency can be taken as a measure of the extent of pi back bonding in metal carbonyl bond. The CO stretching frequency can also be used to differentiate between bridging and terminal carbonyls in metal carbonyl complexes. The bridging carbonyl generally occurs at lower frequencies as compared to terminal carbonyls. Thus, a decrease in CO stretching frequency from terminal to bridged carbonyls supports increased pi bonding in bridged carbonyls, and it can be also used to differentiate the number of bridged and terminal carbonyls present in a particular metal carbonyl complex.